Ever since its development in 1929, the area of the Stapleton Airport has been a space for the community to meet, gather, and learn. Airports have always been exciting communal spaces, and air travel has always been a wonderful way to connect, experience, and learn. Completed in 2020, the Denver Public Schools Paul Sandoval Campus in Northfield was purposefully built to embody this rich heritage. Once a runway on the northern part of a bustling metropolitan airport, the campus was finally completed after 12 years of careful planning. One of the newest and most innovative schools in Denver, LOA Architecture had to put thought into a school located in a burgeoning residential area to create a world-class learning facility to serve Northfield and the surrounding areas. 21st century educators are realizing now more than ever that learning environments are not passive. They actively affect outcomes and are considered an integral part of the success of students and teachers alike. The Paul Sandoval Campus was built to meet the needs of the future.
Believe it or not, I began working with Denver Public Schools 20 years ago. When I was initially involved with the Denver community and brought on to help, there were a couple of foundations that wanted to be supportive of the district's intention to become more personalized, more powerful in their learning. They basically had traditionally comprehensive schools, and frankly, students weren't performing all that well. So that motivated the district to say we need to operate differently, of course, educationally, but also in terms of the environments in which students learn. And these foundations said, we're familiar with your award-winning schools up in the Seattle area. If we put together a contingent of folks to come up and study, would you facilitate that process? And I said, absolutely, would be thrilled to.
And then when we went to Seattle, myself and Kelly, and then a representative of all of the architectural firms went. We went to a number of different schools there that in an area called Federal Heights that was really inspiring. So the whole process, very, very inspiring.
As a result of that study contingent, LOA and their team, all the architects put together some designs in a competition, and it was all the best competition. I think there was a lot of collaboration, but it was nice to know that out of the 2 campuses that were going to be built, LOA was selected to do one of them.
It created a process that DPS could really relate to and understand and respect. It wasn't just 2 foundations lobbying them no end. The firms cooperated really well, and actually we had a lot of fun just in these meetings and the trips we took. So everybody benefited.
I personally believe that Seattle study tour, since it was early in Denver's process, really helped them jumpstart a fabulous process throughout the school district.
LOA Architecture, under the leadership of Timothy Haben, in partnership with Trainer HL and with the assistance from Architects of Achievement, A of A, planned, designed, and led the construction of the flagship project of the DPS 2012 bond, creating the Paul Sandoval Stapleton Northfield campus. This was the first land development, largest campus, and first new comprehensive high school in the Denver public school system in over 30 years. The work of LOA was outstanding over the 2-year design and construction period, overcoming a list of challenges and delivering the highest praised multi-school campus in the state. The LOA Architecture design team continued to reinforce identity and community by creating opportunities to further break down the learning communities into villages and neighborhoods. Each student belongs to and identifies with his or her learning community and to the larger school. The result is a community of buildings that provides intimacy and a sense of belonging for the individual students, and a larger community that provides interaction and an overall identity. The grouping of buildings around the open space, known as the quad, enhances the sense of community by connecting the buildings, the students, the faculty, and the staff around a common, shared space, all of which contributes to a college prep learning experience.
When we first met to do this, I think the people who were involved got a lot of different ideas and were able to accommodate ours and what we needed.
I really had a lot of input. I felt like my voice was heard, and when I walk through the buildings and they listened and we got this space, and they listened and they fixed these windows, and those kinds of things that I think are going to make a difference over the long term. Luckily, I was part of the OAC team, which is the owner architect construction meetings that we would have every week. So I had some input into the final product.
I definitely felt like it was an open, honest conversation. I feel like it was very collaborative. They definitely walked in with like their foundation of what they knew they could do. And then we would just kind of tweak things back and forth, which was really nice.
And we got to see it kind of come up from, the very beginning of getting to see some of the blueprints of what the building would look like, making a couple adjustments, to beginning to see like a big mound of dirt in the excavation process turn into like a frame for a building, to the windows being put up, to being able to walk through it with a hard hat. It was incredibly special as we, were founding a really amazing school.
LOA did a great job of listening to our concerns. I think they did a great job. We did a great job collaborating with everybody who was involved.
The small learning community, SLC, consists of a 2-story classroom building with 36 classrooms. Additionally, this phase included a gymnasium building, tennis courts, baseball and softball field, and all-purpose track field located on Denver Parks and Recreation property.
The hallways are really wide and bright, so it really makes a nice impact, and it just feels really airy and open.
The quad is actually beautiful. It does feel kind of like a college-esque type of vibe. And now I've noticed in, these nooks and crannies, there's tables and chairs and comfortable things, where I think in the past it would just be kids standing around like on their phones or sitting on the floor, where now they can like actually Starbucks it up.
We've had a few kids come in to volunteer, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. I wish we could come. So it's been all positive.
The Paul Sandoval Campus, PSC, generated efficiencies for DPS, including creating a campus that embraced 2 high schools. Both Northfield High School and Conservatory Green High School reside on the campus, but have different objectives within their curriculum. The program was to provide for 500 students. The 3-story building contains a 3-story central atrium. The exterior envelope reflects the existing campus building materials. This includes a 100,000 square foot new classroom building, 2 auxiliary gyms to be shared between NHS and DSST and added on to the existing competition gym, a music drama addition to the existing commons, 4 additional tennis courts, 4 pickleball courts, and a soccer field, all located on Denver Parks and Recreation property.
I think the design of the campus was well thought out.
I think that the biggest things that the campus offered to us immediately was space.
When you look at it, it wouldn't seem as if it was for a high school, maybe like a smaller college.
My favorite part of the campus is the athletic facilities. It's so big, right? Just having so much space.
Our world is rapidly changing, as are the ways we educate our children. As our communities look toward the future, we are committed more and more to developing transformative learning environments and facilities to support education. The design of the Paul Sandoval Campus ushers in a new era of learning spaces that encourages instructors and students to reach the pinnacle of success and will endure for generations to come.
I'm very humbled to work in such a beautiful space.
We're very lucky to have such a wonderful space for our students and our staff.
Kids are able to communicate with each other in the hallways, in the classrooms, and just having some pride in their school.
A lot of people aren't fortunate enough to have something like this, so we take a lot of pride, and we're very grateful for the opportunity we have in going to a school like this.
The big headline for me is that our facilities are world-class. Our families are grateful for it, our students are grateful for it, and it allows for things that I think a lot of other schools dream of.